Hey, my name is Brock, and I'm the creator of Queuebase, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how you can integrate Queuebase with your Next.js app. So we're going to start over here in the Queuebase dashboard, and I'm going to come in here and I am going to create a new app. I'm going to call this Queuebase Demo, and now I need to grab my URL. So this is actually using ngrok on my local machine to point to localhost. So that's my endpoint that my jobs need to hit. So now I'm in here, I'm in the dash, and there's nothing here yet. So the first thing we need to do is actually set up our Next.js environment. So I'm in here on my API keys page, and what I'm gonna do is I am just gonna copy these, and I am going to put them in my local.env. I'm not actually going to show me pasting it in because there is a secret key that I don't want to expose. Now that we have our environment variables all set up, let's go into a terminal and let's install the packages we need. So you can do npm add Zod and Queuebase, and we're going to go ahead and get these installed. So the next thing we're going to need to do is actually set up our job router. So I'm going to come in here under my app, and I'm going to create a new API route at Queuebase. This has to match what I set up in my dashboard with that URL that I gave when I set the app up. So I'm just going to create a route.ts file, and I'm going to create a core.ts file. So in this file, we're going to go ahead and define all of our jobs. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to create a new variable called j, and that's going to be create Queuebase. That's all we need to do for that. Now we can actually create our job object. So job router, I'm sorry, I should call that jobs router, is equal to an object. And I'm going to create a job in here that's just called say hello. So we're going to do j.input, and I want this to be a Zod object. Let's go ahead and get Zod actually imported. Name, Zod.string. That's fine for right there. Whoopsies. So we have that. And then I can go ahead and declare a handler. So this is not going to be async. I will destruct my name. And I am just going to do console.log. Hello. Oh, I'm sorry, this should be input. I'm sorry. And that's our job. So to finish this off now, we need to come down at the bottom here, and we need to add satisfies Queuebase job router. Now this is a type that we're going to have to import. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Great. There's that. And then all we need to do now is export our type of jobs router. Maybe we can just call that job. Perfect. So now that we have our core all set up, the next thing we need to do is just actually create the job routes. So I'm going to come in here, and I am just going to export my get and post endpoints from Queuebase. So we're going to call create app route handler. Queuebase does support pages and app. This is an app directory application. So we're going to use that helper. And then all we're going to do is pass our job router in as an argument. So the last thing that we need to do is actually create a helper to use our jobs in our code. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to create a new utils folder. And I'm going to call this file Queuebase. And all I'm going to do is export const jobs is equal to create Queuebase client, and then we're going to give it our job router type from our core. And then all we need to do now is we need to pass in our API key that we got from our dashboard. And that's all we need to get set up and start running jobs. So this is our simple app that we've created. I'm going to go ahead and actually fire this up using pnpm Great, so this works now. Now, to keep this easy, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna turn this page into a client component and just call my endpoint from the client. Now, this does work with both client and server components. So I'm just gonna create a new button and I'm gonna say execute job. And let's give it some styling. We're gonna use Tailwind for this, so PX, let's go 4, PY, 2, BG white, text black. Let's see how that looks. Oh, it does not like, what do you know? I'll just get rid of that then. Okay, so there's our button. And we need to add a on callback or on click callback to enqueue our job when we trigger it. So what we're gonna do is this. We're gonna go on click. And we are going to do so we need to import our jobs object from our helper, and then we can do, look, we get our full type safe name when we actually make the call. Then we can call in queue, and we get type safe parameters in our enqueue function. You can see that there's our name that we're passing in here. So now the only thing left to do is actually run it. So now that we're ready to run it, all I need to do is click this execute job button. Nothing should happen here, it's just a button that we're clicking. But if I come back here into my dashboard and refresh, you can see that our job is actually queued. There it is, it just completed running. Now I can come in here, I can see the run that was completed. I can view details, so we have logging, we have duration, and then we can see the actual payload that we passed into this job. If I come over here into my terminal, you can see that we are also getting the job output here. So this is logging both to your own server and it's logging to the Queuebase dashboard, which is really, really cool. We also maintain a documentation site that we are constantly updating as new features come out that has a full getting started guide for our Next.js app router, the pages router, how to do delayed jobs, how to do custom logging from within your jobs so that those show up in the dashboard, how to do retries, how to do job sync, and all that good stuff. And that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I can't wait to see what kind of awesome things you guys build with Queuebase.